30 June 2025. Today's Gospel, Mark chapter 5, verse 21 to 43. When Jesus had crossed again in the boat to the other side, a large crowd gathered round him and he stayed by the lake. Then the president of the synagogue came up, named Jairus, and seeing him, fell at his feet and begged him earnestly, saying, "My little daughter is desperately sick. Do come and lay your hands on her so that she may be saved and may live." Jesus went with him, and a large crowd followed him. They were pressing all round him. Now there was a woman who had suffered from a hemorrhage for 12 years. After long and painful treatment under various doctors, she had spent all she had without being any the better for it. In fact, she was getting worse. She had heard about Jesus, and she came up through the crowd and touched his cloak from behind, thinking, "If I can just touch his clothes, I shall be saved." And at once the source of the bleeding dried up, and she felt in herself that she was cured of her complaint. And at once, aware of the power that had gone out from him, Jesus turned round in the crowd and said, "Who touched my clothes?" His disciples said to him, "You see how the crowd is pressing round you. How can you ask who touched me?" But he continued to look all around to see who had done it. Then the woman came forward, frightened and trembling, because she knew what had happened to her, and she fell at his feet and told him the whole truth. "My daughter," he said, "your faith has restored you to health. Go in peace and be free of your complaint." While he was still speaking, some people arrived from the house of the president of the synagogue to say, "Your daughter is dead. Why put the master to any further trouble?" But Jesus overheard what they said, and he said to the president of the synagogue, "Do not be afraid, only have faith." And he allowed no one to go with him except Peter and James and John, the brother of James. So they came to the house of the president of the synagogue, and Jesus noticed all the commotion with the people weeping and wailing unrestrainedly. He went in and said to them, "Why all this commotion and cry? The child is not dead, but asleep." But they ridiculed him, so he turned them all out, and taking with him the child's father and mother and his own companions, he went into the place where the child lay. And taking the child by the hand, he said to her, "Talitha cum," which means, "Little girl, I tell you to get up." The little girl got up at once and began to walk about, for she was 12 years old. At once they were overcome with astonishment, and he gave them strict orders not to let anyone know about it, and told them to give her something to eat.